bullied on social media or cyberbullying or know someone that has? This episode is for you. Welcome aboard the podcast, A Woman's Spark with Shenik, a podcast to show women how powerful they are and remind them of the spark that they carry, the strength that gets us up every time we fall, a place to feel seen and understood when we don't fully have what it takes to get back up on a hard day. This podcast is to help you heal and become the best version of yourself during the roller coaster of life. Building a community of women that wants to help one another and inspire each other to become stronger and more united, as we were born to be. On today's episode, we're going to discuss being bullied on social media. Nearly 42% of kids have been bullied online, and almost 1 in 4 have had it happen more than once. Among this percentage, being ignored and disrespected were the most common forms of cyberbullying. Also, individuals who have experienced cyberbullying at some point in their lifetime have more than doubled from 18% in 2007 to 37% in 2019. And today we're in 2025. So imagine the results. That data is rough and tough and can carry a lot of weight in someone's life if being bullied on social media, right? Today's data is worse and affects everyone, almost everyone. Today, we're going to talk about an influencer who has had over 150,000 followers on Instagram and is trying to do her share in the world to make it a better place. She even, as an influencer who is trying to do some good in the world, gets sometimes bullied by her followers. When we come back, we're going to welcome Diane Scott. She has the Instagram page called A Tale of Two Pities. She rescues animals and gives them a second chance. She also volunteers in animal shelters and just does amazing work. She's a bully breed advocate and lover to the core. She's also an actress and makes the most lovable posts and stories with her rescues. I highly recommend her page. Let's take a short break and find out more about her after this. Welcome back to the Women's Spark podcast with Shenik. Today we have a very special guest, the owner of the Instagram page, A Tale of Two Pities. Welcome to this beautiful spark, Mrs. Diane Scott, or for more personally, Di. Hi, welcome.
What's up? This is so exciting. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for taking the time to come on. Honestly, I've been following your page for maybe 7 years, if not more. And I just love all that you do and all that you give back, and just so selflessly giving to the animals and to people. And so thank you for all that you do. I really, really appreciate it.
That means a lot to me. I'm the older I get, the more I just want to be surrounded by animals, and I'm just happy to help. I'm really happy that I can. And I love it.
So today we're talking about bullying on social media or cyberbullying. And I know whilst following you, I've seen that you have been experiencing some of that. Can you give us a bit of an example? Give us some information on a few situations and how that made you feel.
Yes, my gosh. It's such an interesting topic because I've learned a lot about it in the past 12 years since I started posting on Instagram, and it used to really piss me off and affect me personally. And it still isn't fun. And sometimes certain comments really do piss me off, but I see it differently now because I understand the person behind it. So I was thinking of this example this morning. So my content is all wholesome, family friendly. I don't post anything controversial. The most controversial thing that you'll see is I love pit bulls, and I'm not ashamed of that. And I'm very loud, but it is controversial if you're still brainwashed by the media, right? So that's that aside. I don't post anything controversial. It's just very lighthearted and fun and educational. And so, but certain people will still find something. And what I've learned is every time I post a video, it's this little game for me now. I'm I look at it and I'm what could somebody rip apart from this? And I'll kind of look, and I'm trying to look from their perspective, just because it's interesting to me. And I'm Go
I'll
ahead.
give an example. You've had this one video of Mayor Rue. You know, the Pugsley is talking and he's just being vocal. Or there's another one with you with a unicorn head. What do people have negative to say on that?
Right, right. And those, and they always do. So what I was thinking of was we adopted Link right after Pugsley passed away about a year ago, and it was a couple months into our new relationship with Link. And the video was this, and this happened verbatim. Like, I don't make things up. I have no reason to. So, and I put captions on the video. And Link, my husband had left. It was about 7 a.m. So Link was on his dog bed, saw the open space in the bed next to me, and jumped up and like spooned me. And it was the cutest thing. And he literally just passed out. And my phone is right on the nightstand. So I took my phone like this and started recording. And it's just like the cutest thing ever. And that went super viral. And what I got attacked for. So the first round is like, it usually reaches the right people. This is so cute. I love him. And then it reaches a different tier. The people who can't find anything wrong with the video. So they have to scrutinize. Now, as you can see, I wear these lashes, right? They stay on for a week. That people went after my appearance. There's no way that she just woke up. She's lying. I mean, it was like comment after comment, and it was a lot of women coming for me saying that I was lying. And I'm like, first of all, you're giving me a huge compliment right now. I have morning puffy face. Like, I didn't almost didn't post it because I thought I looked so gross. And you're complimenting me. And so I ended up just, going in and being like, here's my lash, because I use Lashify. Here's my Lashify code if you want to get some lashes. But it's just it's so interesting. If there's nothing wrong with the video. They go after your looks.
Okay.
There's another video went viral. We have dog bones all over the house, right? We live in a dog
Yeah.
house.
Yeah.
And as soon as the video turned, that other tier of people came in criticizing the way our house looked or how that it was dirty. And then people started saying that there was a dog turd on the floor and how disgusting we were. It was a bone. It was
But
obviously a
I
bone.
mean, is it a recurring person, or is it
No,
do people come back and make those comments, or what
it's
happens
it's
then?
it there's this so this is what really bums me out. It's not what people say to me anymore, because those are kind of like whatever surface things. But when they go after, even when they go after the dogs, like that, your dog should be put down, he's a pit bull, whatever. um I just lost my train
And
of
why are
thought.
they following your page? I mean, the title says it, A Tale of
Right,
Two Pities. I mean, you can look at a couple of videos, you'll know immediately that we're into
right.
bully breeds,
I
right?
think
So it's
mostly,
not a
yeah,
surprise.
yeah, it says it right there. But I think it's a lot of people who don't follow me when it goes viral. It's like random people. But
Right.
what really bums me out is like the sheer volume of miserable people, because people who happy, secure, good-hearted people do not ever go on someone else's video and talk trash or try and tear that person down or say your dog
Yeah.
should be euthanized. Nope, that's just not healthy. People don't do that. So what bums me out at this point, it's been 12 years of dealing with trolls, is the sheer volume of miserable, sad people. And that's what really gets me. It's not like every once in a while you'll say something like, oh, that kind of stings. Like, maybe is there some truth in what they're saying, or like, is there some insecurity I have, whatever, about what they said. But the bottom line is the sheer volume of people that feel comfortable being super rude and gross. And then there's, that's what
Yeah.
really bums me out.
Would you say this happens on every post, or does it happen every other post? And if it does happen on every post, how often, like how many people actually are negative as opposed, like what's the percentage would you say positive versus negative?
I would say it's every post that goes viral, there's something.
Okay.
And then I would say maybe like once a week, like maybe once a week I'll get something. But if something goes viral, I'm like, and then especially on Facebook, Facebook is a whole other animal. There's a
Really?
whole group of different people on there. And I love Facebook. That's where my biggest audience is. But if something goes viral, I get like a little sick to my stomach when I open the notifications, especially if there's already been one, because then I know they're just going to spiral. A lot of really gross men. If you'll notice, I dress like Adam Sandler in a lot of my videos, because
Yeah.
that's how I dress anyway.
That's
Like, wear my
fine.
husband's clothes.
That's
But
fine.
it's like that doesn't even deter some of these men. Like the things.
Is it mostly men who are commenting, or women?
I would say if it's something about the way that I look, like that one video of me waking up in the morning with the grossest face,
Yeah.
but apparently that was a lot of women. And but then men will get really upset too. It's like certain men, just some men, they what I think is the psychology behind it is I'm a very confident person. I'm 41 years old. I just don't give a shit anymore, right? Like I'm gonna
Yeah.
do what I'm gonna do. Like I'm here for one reason. It's for the animals. And there's certain very insecure men who do not like that, and so they go after
Oh,
me in some way.
yeah.
Yeah.
There is no place for women to be rising and shining, right? So
No, no, not at all.
how dare they?
Right. How dare we?
Yeah. So what would you say the percentage is in terms of men and women?
That's a good question. You know what? Sadly, I think it's about half and half if we averaged it all
Okay.
out. I mean, I don't even want to get into this one video I'm thinking of specifically, but I will. It was which example? Let me protect her. I'll do. Well, there was one with me cuddling, and this is something that's happened maybe once or twice or three times every
Okay.
like every year. This happens for as long as I've been doing it. It'll be me and one of my dogs cuddling, and the gross men come in and say vulgar things about what I'm doing with my dog, and that might be one of the most disturbing
That
hate
is
moments I get.
disturbing. That's
Yeah,
really disturbing. Yeah, I'm really sorry you're going through that. That's not okay. And I mean, my philosophy is like, can we just spread love? What's the point of just spreading so much hate? What's that giving you?
yeah,
Just spend your day taking care of yourself as opposed to like
yeah,
bashing other people who are just trying to put a smile on people's face or have fun during the day. And
yeah, yeah.
so, yeah.
It's really
So
disturbing.
it is disturbing. Back to my my previous question, like, would you say people comment, like you said, it's mostly on posts that are viral, but uh, are there, when how many posts do you have? I think I saw like many thousands of
Oh God,
posts that
there's
you've
so many.
posted.
There's so many. And
Yeah.
I post on, yeah, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok are my jam. And I usually post the same ones and kind of cater it to different, if like one is a little too, I don't post it on Facebook, because I don't want to deal with that. Um,
Is it a daily thing where you get
it's not a daily thing,
attacked?
no.
Okay.
But
Okay.
I will say, like, when I not like sometimes I can predict when it's going to happen, and then sometimes I never see it coming. Like, so now we have our fourth dog, Buddy, the
Yeah.
little white baby,
Hmm.
and I had fallen in love with him as I was volunteering at the shelter. Brought him home. My husband fell in love, and we were fostering to see how it would go. And then when we ended up adopting him, and I got ripped into because from people who foster, and this was just a few people. This wasn't on a viral post. It was like right when I shared that we were adopting him. And this lady went on all these different posts back to when I was showing Buddy, the dog we ended up adopting, and being like, you were not transparent about this. I can't believe that you said you were fostering. Do you realize that people who actually foster just like shaming me for adopting him and not fostering? Because the way that, I mean,
Well,
I get it. Like if you're a professional foster, it's like one is in and then one is out, one is in, and you're helping these
yeah.
dogs. But that's not. I've never done that. That's not
I
what I do.
mean, from previous experience, fostering is hard because you end up adopting them, right? Because you
Sometimes
fall
you
in love
do.
with them. Yeah.
Sometimes
So,
you do.
yeah,
And there's
exactly.
nothing wrong with that. And it was,
No.
yeah. So it's very, it comes from a deep place of insecurity, and we're all mirrors of each other, right? So you
Yeah.
see something online. I think about this too. If I see a video online that maybe triggers me, or like not triggers because I don't get triggered easily, but something that kind of like sparks a reaction. I don't get upset with the video. I go, why am I feeling this way? What is it about what this person is doing
Ah,
that like,
introspection.
yeah, that
That
like I feel like I can't do or I wouldn't do. So I'm being judgmental. Either way, it all comes back to me. It's not on them.
absolutely. I like that you bring that up because whatever someone's written, if it triggers something in you, it means there's something in you that you need to introspect, which is important because not a lot of people do introspections,
No.
and Thank you for that cue and that tip, because doing introspections when someone is bullying you, whether in person or cyberbullying you, it's the first thing people should do. It'd be like, whoa, 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 wait a minute, because this shouldn't be. If you were confident enough, and
Right.
I'm not saying you're not confident, but
Right. Right.
if you're comfortable enough in your own person, this
Yeah.
should not affect you, right? But
Yeah.
still, it's
Yeah.
hurtful.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it leads me to ask you a two-part question. Number one is, when it first started, how did it make you feel? How did you like deal with all this negativeness?
Not well. Not well. I No, I think back to the early years and I would get so upset and it was hard. Like my husband would watch me go through it and I would be like out with friends and be like, did you see what this person said? And I didn't handle it well at all. I mean, I was in my late 20s, early 30s. I can't remember how old. So I was, no, that was a long time ago. And just, not the level of maturity hadn't kicked in. I didn't understand people that well. And I will say one thing, social media has taught me clearly a lot about people, and it's helped me with my everyday interactions and understanding people better and being more patient and like, if it's just a whole slew of things. It's been very interesting.
Mhm.
What was the second question?
Well, it was a two-part question. Is like,
Okay.
how did you deal with it then? Because
Yeah.
obviously it probably came with its own, it probably affected your psyche, it probably
Uh-huh.
affected you mentally, and like your mood, and
Yeah.
where did
Yeah.
it lead you to?
Yeah. So I didn't handle it well, and I would get very upset, and it frustrated me. I think people were trying to help me, but it frustrated me that no one else was as upset as I was. And now I'm
Mhm.
at the place where like I don't let it affect me. But yeah, I would think about it a lot and I would ruminate. Oh my gosh, fortunately I forgot about it now, but there was this one comment that just got under my skin for like weeks. It was something about the dogs and something about me. Um, and now it's like, these are strangers, they're
Yeah,
strangers. They don't know me. They know nothing about me. I know me. I love myself. And so
that's it.
it was
Separating
very,
the two.
yes, yes. And, so yeah, I did not handle it well back then. And it was, it definitely affected me, in a bad way for a while until I kind of, elevated my awareness about it.
Yeah, and clearly today I think you have a smoother approach to it, and I think you've, like you said, you've learned about yourself and you've learned about others, and try to detach yourself, because I say to my daughters, it's like, you don't know what's happened to those people
Yeah.
today or yesterday, what they were raised with. So that just does not belong to you. It belongs to
No.
them, and to detach yourself from whatever negativity you're getting
Yeah.
your way, right? So
Because
thank you.
you can't
Yeah.
let them have that power over you. And this goes with anybody in your life, anyone that you meet, it's like,
Yeah.
I used to hate the saying, like, you can't, no one can make you mad. But it's true. Like you allow somebody, we could go so deep on this, but,
Yes.
yeah, you just can't give people that power. And there are some people who are literally on the internet solely to go troll. And those you can kind of tell easily, but some of them are good, and
Yeah. They're just having
it's
a
just,
tough day.
yeah, or they're having a tough day. Like you have to be so above it
Mhm.
and just have this understanding of how it works. And it's some days are easier than others. I'll say that.
Yeah. Thank you for all that you've shared so far, Diane. I really appreciate it. We're going to take a short break, and we're going to come back and talk a little bit more, but a bit more about the positive that it's brought, because every negative situation or experience does come with its positive in the long run or the short run, and what your goals are and where you're going. So we're just going to take a quick break, and we'll be
Awesome.
right back. Thank you. Welcome back to a Women's Spark podcast with Janik. And we are here today with Diane Scott, who has an Instagram page, A Tale of Two Pities. She's rescued a lot of animals and takes care of them, and really gives back to the community and to animals mostly. So welcome back, Diane.
Hi.
Hi.
Thank
So
you.
we're back on to, as I always say in my podcast, there's always in every experience of life, there's hardships, but it usually turns into something positive. We can really, it's important to look at both sides of the medal and really, really try to see, as we were saying earlier, is like try to look within us what can we do better, but also in a situation when something's negative, there's also a positive. So it's also
Right.
good to kind of look a bit deeper there. We might not see it immediately, but with time sometimes we see it. So what is the positive that's come of the cyberbullying? What have you learned that's positive towards that?
Well, I think kind of one thing that I said earlier is it's helped. I have learned so much about myself.
Yeah.
Um, because as I mentioned, if some of these comments, I'm like, it's so easy to roll my eyes and kind of laugh and just be like, give me a break. But some of them are like, ooh, that stung a little bit more. And then it's like, okay, so there's something with that I kind of need to check. Um, it's
Can you give
helped
us an
me.
example?
What's that?
Can you give us an example of something
Yeah.
that stung and then you thought, okay, well, what's this inside me?
Let me think. There's a couple. Well, the one where the women were like coming at me for my appearance,
Yep.
and pretending that I had just woken up when I actually had just woken up. As I've gotten older, I've gotten a little more, I don't want to say insecure about my looks, but like our bodies change, or if we're not super
We're
young
aging.
anymore.
Yeah.
And so those kind of got me. I don't really know. Yeah, that's not the strongest example, but it was just kind of like, it was kind of like an ouch, because like, oh man, I'm already kind of feeling like, you know what I mean?
She's getting to my point where that's it. So
Yeah,
she's
like,
touching a soft subject, a
yes,
subject that really stings a little bit more
yes,
because
just kind of
we
like an
can't,
ego thing. Yeah.
yeah, we can't get
Um,
rid of aging, unfortunately, and
Unfortunately
it
you
does
can't.
sting.
And like, and you just have to love yourself. But yeah, I think when people go after my appearance, that's always, it's always just, it's so strange to have people talk about you that you don't know, like, to it's like, what,
Of course.
um
Yeah.
okay, let me try and think of another example here. Some guy, this is one I remember, he said that I was, because this was one of the videos where I was actually dressed like in normal clothes and not Adam Sandler and my husband's, XL
Yeah.
shirts. And he said, "Oh, I love this content. She's a wannabe MILF, but I love it," or something. And that just got me like all in my head. Like, is that what I'm putting out? And it touched it. I don't know. And then I kind of like, you start overanalyzing yourself, and so it's just you. I think the bottom line is you can't take anything anyone else says about you, um, at face value, or you can't take it as truth,
Absolutely, because
because
that's
it's
their
not.
truth. It's their
Yes.
feelings and situation. And
Yes.
and whilst we're talking about this, my dog is scratching at the door and whining. He's like, "Hey, why are you not letting me in?"
Oh, I'm shocked that mine are quiet right now. They're all sleeping. This is bizarre. This never happens. Yeah.
What's how has this changed in a positive way? How you create your content?
I actually, I take more chances now. I think I just don't care anymore.
Hmm.
And it's kind of a good, there's times where I'm like, oh, I shouldn't post this, because I can already like hear the comments from here. And again, this is wholesome, family friendly content, but I know how people work now, and I do it anyway. And there's always this big payoff. And I think that's something that, not only as content creators, but as human beings, we need to do more. We have to stop giving a crap what people think.
Yeah, I
If
mean,
this
I
is,
think you're doing this to help others, and
yeah,
so the noise, the background noise, is just exactly that, background
yes,
noise. So it just has to stay behind and just focus on moving ahead, moving forward, and just because that's
yeah,
what the world needs, right? Positivity, love, care,
yeah,
being cherished, and honestly, the people who give all this negative, I'm sorry the word, but negative crap,
yeah.
they probably just need a little bit of love.
They need they
So
need love. They're
that's
the most
it.
miserable people, and also they're not doing. this is another thing too, is the people who criticize you are the ones who are either scared to do it or they're not doing it. No one who is like either above you or on your level or just a good they're not going to try and tear you down.
That's it.
And what I love the most is when I do take chances and just continuing to post and not caring what anyone thinks about it. I love getting messages and comments from people saying, you inspired me. A friend I haven't seen for like 20 years the other day wrote me and she said, you're inspiring me to go volunteer at the animal shelter. I'm loving what you're doing.
Oh, I
Or
love that.
someone, people will tell me, I probably like 10 times a year I get these messages that um, you've inspired me to take a chance on a pit bull and I love him. Like I was so wrong. So all of it pays off and we don't realize how much people are watching, whether this is social media or not, like just in your life. And when you're living your purpose, in confidence, that's people are seeing that. And it is
Yeah.
really inspiring and it lifts
Oh,
other people up and you don't even realize it.
I love that you're saying living your purpose. It's beautiful. Because, I mean,
Yes.
that's why we're here, right? To live our
Yeah.
purpose. And it's nice that you're actually on your X and doing it and, moving forward. What are
Yeah.
the three values? I switched that very quickly, but it's
It's
like,
okay.
but as being part of our mission
Mhm.
in life and our what we're meant, what we're here on this planet to do, what are the three values that are a big part of you to create that? What are the, like, your three
Yeah.
whys where you go, yeah, I'm doing this for that?
Well, I love Jesus. I'm a pastor's daughter, so God is very important to me. And if it's not aligned, if something isn't aligned with Him, which is why I love taking care of His creatures, um, human and animal alike. Obviously, that I know that's very aligned with my purpose here because I'm taking care of His creatures. So, kind of yeah, being in alignment with what God wants for me, and then treating people and animals with respect.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I would say, I feel like the follow your heart thing is kind of bogus because our hearts are like, they can be serious liars. I've followed my heart into many, many bad situations before. I think it's, help me out with this one. What is it instead of follow your heart? Because follow
Yeah,
your heart, our hearts can be
I
deceptive.
I really feel like the intuition is
Follow,
more, your body's going to talk to you. Your mind, your body, your heart, it's all interconnected. And let's say I'm in a position where I don't feel it,
yeah.
I'm going to feel a bit nauseous. I'm going to feel uncomfortable. My body's going to react to it. But if I'm on my X, I feel happy. I feel
Yes.
excited,
Peaceful. Yeah.
peaceful.
Yeah.
Exactly. So follow your heart. I think I see what you mean, but I think your intuition is usually what
Yeah. Yeah. Follow
is
your intuition.
connects
Yeah.
you from the ground up, right? It's from one
Yeah.
end to the other.
Because we can't just be chasing the wind wherever it blows, like you have to stay grounded. And I feel like, and yeah, I feel like following your heart can really, I mean, I know it kind of means two things, but like, um, our hearts can just be, our heart wants, there's so many things that we could chase and this and that. And if we're staying grounded and staying, like you said, with our intuitions and our higher self, that's where, ooh, I just got the chills. That's where it is right there. And
Yeah.
staying calm and patient and sometimes being in like a place of just waiting,
Yeah.
and not like I feel like we hear so often we have to hustle, hustle, hustle. And sometimes we do
Oh
have to
God,
take
no.
inspired action. And sometimes we just have to sit and wait and be like, it's come,
Mm.
everything I want. Ooh, chills. Everything I want is coming to me at the
Yeah.
perfect time.
That's your intuition talking to you. Your
Yeah.
chills.
Yeah.
You
She's like,
see,
you got it.
you're
You got
actually
it.
like, oh, I get those as well. It's like, oh my God, yes, okay,
I love
I
it.
feel this.
Yes. I love it. I love it. So I don't know if
um,
any of that made you asked for three and I went all over the
yeah,
place, but
but
yeah, something like
that's
that.
I love it. What is one goal that you maybe haven't achieved yet that but you would like to achieve, whether it's with your Instagram page, whether it's something else, but what is one goal you'd like to achieve?
Now that I'm doing the Pause Shelter in Dripping Springs, Texas. Shout out Pause. Now that I've been volunteering there for 6 months, and they've asked me to take over their social media, so I'm doing their social media now. And now that I've been there every day, almost every day for 6 months, and I there's changes that I'm still I was just talking to my friend about this yesterday. There's changes that need to be implemented because the shelters are always full. They're
Okay.
always full. We'll never run out of animals. There's constantly, and there's reasons behind that. And there's a lot lack of education. So I want to be very loud in my educating people on, if you're going to adopt, if you're going to take an animal in, period, this is for the rest of his life. Think about what that means: sickness and health from puppy to seniorhood. You want to travel? Maybe wait. If you're not sure where your life is going, maybe wait. Do you have the dedication, the time, the money, the resources to train this animal? I mean, there's so much that goes into it. We see dogs surrendered every week
Yeah.
that have been with families for years. For
Yeah.
the reasons are just, you know,
And often people will move and they want to keep that dog, but they move and landlords just say no.
yeah,
But unfortunately, it's people who have not taken care of their dogs
yeah,
that kill it for people who do take care of
yeah,
their
yes,
animals.
yeah.
So,
And
but yes,
there's extenuating circumstances, and I mean, I don't, it's not like I'm lacking empathy. I know that there's certain things where the dog is safer and it's going to be better for everyone if he's surrendered. But there, it's so wishy-washy. Like, that's not the majority of these cases. The majority of these
no,
cases, I mean, are
I'm
just,
totally with you. I mean,
they're
having a dog is like
heartbreaking.
having a 5-year-old for 10 to
Yeah.
15 plus years,
Yeah.
right? So it's,
Yeah.
you don't have
Yeah.
a newborn, but you have a five-year-old for the rest of your life,
Yeah.
for at least 10 to 15 years. And you have to know that that is a huge responsibility.
Huge.
And that dog loves you and it
Yeah.
is attached to you. And if you leave it, it's like, try to put yourself in, we're talking
Yeah.
about putting ourselves in the shoes of others. Well,
Right.
put yourself in the shoes of that dog. If we
Yeah.
left you there,
Yeah. No, and there's a dog right now that we're working with who just got surrendered, and he's terrified because he lived with the family for like 7 years. And anyway, I don't want to get into that. But I wanted to mention too, the other thing that I want to achieve, a goal that I have, and I don't know how to do this yet either, is, besides talking about it, is another problem is puppy mills, backyard
oh
breeders, people selling their
no,
dogs on
yes,
Craigslist. This is why we have dogs in the street. Dogs are getting dumped. There's puppies. I mean, this is a huge problem. We cannot support these groups, and I
no,
just, that's a huge goal of mine too, is just shouting it from the rooftops. And people
it's
need to, yeah,
be
it's the main
responsible for
problem.
your for yourself, but also be responsible if you decide to take an animal on, do it the right way. Find a good breeder, or adopt one, or go to a shelter, or
Yeah,
give a dog or an animal a second life. And
yeah,
if it fits with your family and your situation, make sure you double check and triple check that, because your
yes,
situation will change, but check it right now. And
yes.
what's your plan for 5 years, and is it going to be
Hmm.
able to tag along with that?
Right,
So
right.
yeah, no, I thank you very much for sharing your goal, because there's too many dogs and too many animals being left outside on the street and just being left to fend for themselves.
Yeah,
And as I was saying to you earlier, my we adopted my first that
yeah.
I had for 13 years, and she was left in a park, no collar, emaciated, just left there. And then the SPCA, which is what we have here, one of the shelters that we have here, picked her up, and she was scared for a very, very long time. It took her a very long time just to be able to trust
Yeah,
again. So
yeah.
thank
It's
you so much, Diane. It honestly, I was like, oh, I'm going to contact her. I want to see if she might want to come on the podcast, and I wasn't sure if I'd get an answer. And you know what? You're genuinely fantastic, and
oh,
exactly what you transpire in your videos. And I really, really, really
oh,
appreciate you coming on to this
oh,
podcast.
I love
So
you. Thank you. This was so awesome. I'm like gonna cry. I don't know why. I just feel like we had such a bonding experience just now. But I'm so glad you were, I saw your message. You're like, I don't know. Would you say like, I'm gonna shoot my shot or something cute like that? And I've been on the other side because I have a podcast too, and I've reached out to a couple of people that I was like, I didn't think that they would. I don't know. We just feel like why do we get like, why do we do this to ourselves? We forget, but I've been there and it's like so scary. I'm like genuine tears. So I was like, oh my God, I love this. Like, yes, I don't know. Like, yeah, let's do it. So I'm so glad that you reached out. Like, and just keep doing that. Like, don't
Yes.
assume anything
That's
from
my
no
why.
one.
That's my
Yeah.
X, right? I want to help
Yes.
women. So that's where I'm
Yes.
gonna continue to soldier on. But thank you for all the tips where cyberbullying, because I'm sure eventually when I'm gonna launch everything, I'm sure I'm gonna, if I can help one person, I'll be very happy, but I'm sure I'm gonna
Yes.
get some cyberbullying. So it's nice to know how to deal with that.
And just what you said, if you help one person, like that's who cares about
The
everybody
goal's
else.
done. That's it.
And if you want, I will be in the comments waiting for you, and I'll be
Thank you.
watching, and I'll be like, oh, there he is. And I have to, let me say this real quick. Sometimes I do like to make an example out of somebody when it's like over the top ludicrous. And you've probably seen in my stories, I'll post this and be like, don't be like this person, because I think, and that, I don't know, I want people to think, because I know that probably even in my audience, like there's somebody who's made some jackass comment to someone else, and I just want people to think about how much it can hurt. And what if
Yeah,
you catch someone who's in on the wrong day, or something terrible just happened to them, and they read your comment and it like breaks them?
that's it. You
So
never
every
know
once in a
how it can affect the person on
yes,
that day. They may be
yeah,
having the worst day, and that just drops
yeah,
them down to their knees, right?
yeah. So we just, I mean, like we said, we're here one time. Let's do, like, go for it. Don't care what anyone else thinks. This is not about them. Like, nobody is thinking about you as much as you're thinking about you anyway. Like, nobody really cares that much. So
That's
do
it.
it. Like, are they paying your bills? No.
Nope,
No,
that's it.
they're not.
Thank you for taking your time to share your experience, and I'm sure it's going to help other women who are living
I
something
hope
similar.
so. It's awesome.
So, to all you beautiful women, I hope you can take in a little bit of this knowledge and apply it to your own experience and life quakes with cyberbullying. So, this is it for us for today. Tune in every week on your favorite podcast platform. If you want to get involved with the Be Guided, Be Inspired community and you want to share what kind of impact you've had on others because of your experiences, or you're currently going through a tough time yourself, come and meet with us on the platform at www.beguidedbeinspired.com. Thank you for listening. Keep sparkling, you beautiful women. See you next
Thank
time. Thank you,
you.
Diane.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.